I am right now in Sioux City, Iowa. The French pronounce it Sioux City. And this is a territory of the Ohishi Sioux. And that is a tribe from the Dakotas and Lakotas, native tribes to these territories, and also First Nations of these territories. This land that I'm walking now used to be Spain, and as you know, the Spanish and the French are kingdoms, or were kingdoms at the time, and they united those kingdoms. In 1801, I think it was, if I'm not confused with the chronology, Mr. Napoleon sold these lands illegally to the United States of America. After the Spanish agreed to it, a fellow named Bernardo Conde de Galvez, Rodriguez Miro, a kin of mine, they see the lands to the United States becoming Illinois, named by the Spanish, becoming Iowa, named by the Spanish, and all these territories all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, including Canada, all the frontier with Canada. Today, the relative of these people have acquired a new identity. They call themselves white, and they now speak English. But their ancestry has nothing to do with England. It's all to do with Spain and France, and it has nothing to do with race. It's all about ethnicity, about the way you think. Example, they used to be Roman Catholics because France and Spain and Germany, Países Bajos, they were part of the Roman Empire, and later on the Sacro Roman Empire. Now, Mr. Floyd died on 1804 on a mission from the United States to survey the new lands acquired. Because the United States didn't know exactly how vast was the territory. Neither the French, neither the Spanish. For 500 years they have say this is mine, but actually was occupied by the First Nations. Now, contrary to what people say, that the Spaniards slaughtered the native and destroy civilizations, is completely the opposite. They advanced the First Nations from the Stone Age, giving them horses or animals that can do the job for them. They give them technology like agriculture, architecture. The native already know how to build. Actually, they were really good at building. They built pyramids and they have mathematics. They were extremely advanced. The only disadvantage the First Nation had against the European, or in this case the Castilians, was weaponry. The Europeans fought over and over and over, and they became really good at terminating one another. So when the United States sent Mr. Clark and Mr. Floyd, in this case a non-commissioner officer of the United States of America, when he died here, he was invading land acquired illegally from the First Nations, then from the Spanish Franco powers. When General Custer arrived at Little Bighorn, and he died in combat, the 7th Cavalry, he was fighting already native that spoke Castilian for the first 450 years. They already have horses, military techniques advanced. That is why they got slaughtered. And I am right here at the map of the park. As you notice, they actually write down on the very end to gain a better understanding of the history of the United States. They never mention who these lands belong to and how they acquire it. It's hard to read this. Notice they call it the Spanish territory and the Louisiana Purchase. But if you notice, the entire continent was Spain until mid 1600s. The English arrived, and history is just like a grounding European conflict. So the United States was created not because George Washington decided that he's going to be free and he's going to free the slave and he's going to free the Indians. No, the conflict started because Spain and France was trying to create problems for the English in the colonies to get them out, to get the English power out of the Atlantic and the Caribbean. And they did succeed. And at the same time, they destroy each other. Today, France is just a minuscule country, the same as Spain, and the same is England. And that is what we have today. They are trying to get back their power. They always will attempt to do that. That is why they control our media, what they call the media, that is actually pay advertising for them. I had no idea if the camera is recording this, because it is not contrasting too well. Anyhow, this monument is the first national monument in the United States, the first created by Congress. So it is a very important place. And I'm going to show you now where the Missouri River is. So these lands, since God created them, has been very important. Today I noticed something significant, that I can drive through all these lands at basically 65 all the way to 80 miles an hour and not strike a single insect on the highway. And the reason is that it's farmland, and they are continuously spraying chemicals, insecticide and herbicide, to control weed and to control the environment by killing everything that moves. And that is my my observation. You go into let's say Georgia, you go into Texas, you go into Florida, and yes, they do have agriculture, but not to the extent that these fellows have it out here. Out here is every square meter is planted, is producing, but at the same time it's taking the environment from the native species. And I'm going to show you. As the eye can see, it's nothing but farmland. Now you notice dwellings, that is where you have trees. And then you have the mountains that you don't plant those, but flat land right next to the Missouri River is nothing but farming. Now notice right here the map. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the grave site is actually not right here, or the original one was right by the river, right, really close to the river, but the river washed it away, so they moved it up here. This video is dedicated to my friend Mery. Mery, she's from a French background, or a French family, and today she's a proud Texan in the United States of America.